Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming on in tonight. Hello, honey. Hello, Luna. Hopefully both of you are doing well. And hello to anybody else who might be lurking. So for tonight, it is Workshop Wednesday, which means that we will be spending our time writing whatever we feel like for tabletop RPG stuff. Or just talking about games or talking about whatever y'all want to talk about or whatever y'all are working on. Let's go ahead and get our view switched over. Hello. Oh, captions. There we go. So yeah, for tonight, I have decided that I'm probably going to work on some Halloween stuff or Halloween related things because we got the spooky time coming up. I've already started doing, actually, that is an important thing to note today. I reached my goal of 5 reviews. Couldn't talk there for a second. 5 reviews on Start Playing. Which means that now my profile is public, which is awesome. Actually, I will link that in chat here, which is super fucking cool. So here's my profile. On there, you will also find the game that I have up for October 30th. Which is a game for Delta Green, but I want to write other stuff for the month of October to test, as well as to possibly run when I have time, maybe, whenever that might be. So yeah, go check it out. You can also, if you have any interest in following all the stuff that I do with tabletop RPGs, you can also find my Twitter, which let me get that for you as well, which is right here. Congratulations. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So there's my Twitter. That's where you can find all the information about the stuff I'm doing with streaming, as well as anything that I'm doing tabletop RPG related. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and switch our view over here. Got our chill tunes on. So, yeah. Like I said, for tonight, I'm going to be working on a spooky campaign. I think it is going to be Mothership. I'm going to look through the books here real quick. Make sure it works for what I want to do. Because actually, I was watching Luna's stream today, and she was playing a game called Observation, which had a very, very cool story arc to it. And so I'm like, I'm going to hijack that. Because there's a little secret for you, and don't tell anybody, but you could totally use whatever stuff you want to as far as telling your stories goes. It really doesn't matter if it's already been published, as long as you don't use it word for word and plagiarize like an asshole. So yeah, just, if you want to make stuff, just make stuff. At least that's how I usually go about it. Again, as long as you don't plagiarize, you are fine. Just don't use things word for word. You can make your own stories, because realistically, even if somebody can tell what it is, okay, cool. Are you having fun? Are you enjoying yourself in the setting? But that's really all that matters. Not completely unrelated. Don't tell people to find out about my John Wick by night. What is really unrelated, but not really, honey. think this might work well, actually. Yeah, ready for whatever stuff you want to chat about. A Delta Green game in which the agents investigate the disappearance of children in a chocolate factory. You'd totally do that. Make like a creepy Shub-Nagroth chocolate factory thing. And like, yeah, that could work well. That could work well. It's perfect. Yeah. Yeah, there's, I like that a lot. I'll, put that, I think I still have it. Where is it? I'll just make a new doc. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Inspired. Agents. After reported disappearance of children in the area, suspect possible Eldritch connection. Yeah, absolutely. So this is actually something I was thinking about this morning when I was out on my walk, which was I should really make some games that can be ran in like a fun environment, sort of like that. Things that people can pick up and have a good time with. Stuff that focuses around a particular theme. Like, for example, we're coming up on Halloween. And I usually run horror games, but running horror games that are more lighthearted and things like that, probably a good idea. Because it'll give me more opportunity to get people introduced to the worlds, but also give them an opportunity to experience different game systems and things like that, which is cool, which is ultimately my goal. Like, I want more people to explore more things. That is pretty much what I'm... Let's see, Chocolate Factory. So yeah, what are y'all working on? Anything fun this evening? Alright, I'm gonna switch over to my dock here. Just playing the Avengers and the Sims. Hey, that's fine. That works. I will be just working on this. So, without giving away too many spoilers, the idea that I liked a lot that I want to take from Observer was that you have this module in space, which is kind of like the International Space Station, and it's supposed to be going around Earth. But something happens, and they look outside, and they're next to Saturn now, which with modern spacecraft would take you about 3-4 years to reach. So no real good reason why they should be there, but I like those things like that are super fucked. And this could also be a Delta Green game, to be honest with you, but I just want to explore more systems. Jeez. Oh, something cool did happen yesterday too, which was the mothership Twitter page retweeted my stream from yesterday, which is cool. So, pretty happy about that. And just gonna continue doing what I'm doing with this, because what I would really, really like to be able to do, and what I'm gonna try and invest in later, is I want to get starter boxes, and I want to get another camera, and I want to make videos of myself going through and looking at the components and kind of reviewing the starter boxes, and then turning around and doing like a test game with people to see how well it works, to kind of give information about, like what I thought of X starter box for X game. So, and I want people to send me all the cool games so I could try them out and tell them to more people, because that sort of stuff makes me happy. It would be cool. I would love to be able to do that sort of thing where I show off games and introduce people to other things and kind of expand their horizons, as well as, like, I loved going into the game store and looking through stuff in the RPG section and just hearing, like somebody saying, well, I don't know if I much like D&D, and I kind of want to play something that's like, I don't know, whatever theme. And I, a lot of times, would have perused the entirety of that section to the point where I could find whatever they were looking for, or recommend them towards something. Like, I remember one day I was looking around because I was trying to decide if I wanted to buy an RPG supplement. I don't remember what it was for. It might have been Trail of Cthulhu. And it was after Mork Borgid came out, but like a few months after. And I remember because they had it on the shelf at the store that I used to go to, and I had 4 different groups of people come in to look at RPGs and look at Mork Borg and be like, well, what is this? Like, and then I would hear them and kind of come over and ask them if they would like some input on it. And for the ones that did say yes, like, I would say, okay, it's, hard and fast rule system, made to be pretty rules light, very, very lethal. The world is dying, and that's actually a very intrinsic part of the game, is the apocalypse and how it happens and how you deal with it. And so I ended up selling 4 or 5 copies of the game over the course of the day, I think. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I love talking about new games and looking at new games and reading things about new games. Like, it is something I'm very passionate about, and I would love to be able to get into that sort of space with like indie games. I mean, like I've said, I'm working on stuff of my own. Then I want to get out there, and I feel like there's not a lot of people that cover too much information when it comes to indie games. But granted, that's hard to do because there's so damn many of them. So it's very, very difficult for you to sit down and say, I want to make an indie game review show, which I would love to do. I would love to just review indie games, but I would need to know about them. I would need to have a way of getting a hold of them, have enough time to read them. And when I have a full-time job, it's a little bit difficult to do. So, but I'll expand. I'll try things. I'll try to grow and see what ends up happening. Like I said. Yeah, I think after this week, if I have some time this weekend, I would like to look into expanding more and opening that door for people that want to have people look at their games, or make their games into videos or whatever else, reviews and things like that. Because I would love to review smaller publishers and indie publishers and things like that. I really don't have any desire to review Dungeons and Dragons stuff, because there's already enough people that do it, and it's just not something I do. Like, I don't really run Dungeons and Dragons at all. I can make stuff for it. That's fine, but the system doesn't draw me the same way as some others do. So I would probably steer clear of that. But I mean, there's lots and lots and lots of other things that are accessible. Also, piece of advice for anybody who is getting into a new game for the first time or trying to run a game for the first time is, if you are ever confused about the rules or the interactions or anything else like that, I suggest first thing you should look at is the character sheet. And get yourself a good idea of what it is that the players see, what it is that the things that they are going to have direct interaction with, because that'll make your life easier for figuring out what it is you need to do. Plus, if you can, I would keep a copy of their character sheet with you behind your screen, because then you can look at their sheet and say, you know what, you're really good at this, or you're really good at that, or like if they have a question about how to do something, you have it right in front of you there so you can look at it and figure it out. But I also really like having it for that ability to be like, okay, what is something cool that you do? Because I might forget just because of the nature of how my head is. But having it in front of me makes it a lot easier for me to look at it and say, okay, here's what you do. Like, okay, I'll figure out a good way of incorporating that into tonight's session. Hello, Azure. Working on Azure lore, but want to say hi. Yep, no problem. Hey, how's it going? You always have your player sheets on hand. That's good. It's a good way to go about it. So I think Mothership will work well for this horror game. The only problem with the Mothership is you have 4 defined classes. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to explore and other things. But I guess you could just change the classes, but then you're making a whole new module instead of a game based around this. But I mean, who cares? It's fine. Okay, I've got a cool idea. So, in Mothership, you have 4 classes. You have Teamsters, Scientists, Android, and Marines. So, 3 of those are easy to put in. The androids are a little bit difficult. I don't want androids, but what I do want, and what I think would be really cool, is to have blank bodies hanging around. Like cybernetic bodies that the AI consciousness of the ship can be put into. I like that. I think I'm going to do that. Okay, so it's transported from Earth's, what would that be? Vicinity? Sure, vicinity. Somewhere else. That is. I don't know. Say I am not. Let's go to terminals. All right, so we got our thing here. We got our blank cybernetic bodies that the AI can jump into, which is super fucking creepy and allows us the ability to have these bodies that can move around on their own if we want to. And we're going to make them synthetic so that they look real. Oh. Ah, jeez. think another thing I would like to do for our Workshop Wednesdays is having people able, since the nice thing about YouTube is that everything that is made gets recorded. I'm thinking about having like an open suggestion box that people can submit questions to for the Wednesday things, and then having go through and answer them. That's gonna be a no from me. What, the synthetic bodies that look real and are activated by AI? Why not? It's cool. It's a little bit creepy, but you know, it's cool. So, the Mothership universe is kind of similar to that of Alien. So, I would say let's make this some sort of space dock or something like that these people are hanging out on. Maybe like a research center or something that happened to get a shipment recently. Yeah, okay, cool. I like that. Orbital Research Center Space Station. Which means that we can get... let me find it. That just sounds like the working Joes from Alien Isolation. Yeah, kind of similar, except these ones are going to look more real. I think that the one that we want is Pound of Flesh. Right? Yes. So this particular supplement for Mothership is one that I would like to grab the physical copy of, but it's a story, but it's also a complete rule set of how to build a space station, which I think might be cool. Just because I want the space station to be part of the story. Space station. It's research AI on board. What's our AI's name going to be? So it's a research station, so probably something that's more scientifically or mathematically related would be good. We could go the Jimmy Neutron route and name the AI Goddard, which, for those of you that don't know, Goddard, Jimmy Neutron is a dog, but Goddard is also the name of a scientist who, I think he did something with long-range telescopes. Let's see what he did. Robert H. Goddard. Physicist, God's work as a theorist, engineer, development of spaceflight. Oh, that would make spaceflight possible. He's called the man who ushered in the space age. Made the multi-stage rocket and liquid-fueled rocket system. Yeah. So, yeah. I think having a bunch of astrophysicists would definitely name the AI Goddard if they got the chance. Oh, jeez. Ah. I need some sort of caffeine. I should probably go make tea at some point. Alright, so we got our orbital space station. Space station has research AI on board. AI's name is Goddard. Sure. Because it adds... So, this is what we're doing here is... And unless this name is too ridiculous, which is entirely possible, but adding elements into your horror story that add funny is a nice way to taper horror, because the opposite of horror is comedy. So having the two be present makes it so you can kind of have nice shifts between the two and they can be felt more. Alright, so we got our research station. Station has an AI on board. Houses astrophysicist. Also has a couple. So, because we want to have some of our characters be present in the story, because we don't want everybody to just be a scientist. So having a teamster or somebody that is more mechanically inclined also makes sense. Plus, it gives you the opportunity to break shit and then make it so that you have to have the teamsters come and fix it. I would say for our universe, we're not going to have a full-blown Marine. We will have security on board just because of it's a station that has people come and go, so they don't know what always is happening. So having one security person, one or two security personnel on board makes sense. All right, this is looking good. Jeez. All right, so we got our stages covered, or our bases covered here for player characters. For this type of thing, I think that this is probably going to end up being a 1 or 2 shot, so we don't need to make it so that they can make characters. We can just make pre-gens and then have them pick from them, because this is something that it's supposed to be like a fun Halloween game, so I think having it as a 1 shot would make more sense. The question is, I think we open, so we got our baseline idea here of what we're looking at for our story and the types of elements that we want to have present, as well as the types of characters that we want to have present. So now what we need to do is figure out how we're going to tell our story. And especially for a 1-shot, you want to have things built out so you can hit bases and let people explore, feel cool, do stuff. So we're going to say that they all wake up. So let's see. So they started around Earth's orbit, right? So started Earth's orbit. The players wake up. Different places around the ship. Different times. Okay, what planet are they going to be around? Let's see. "13 light years away from Earth? Why not? Wolf 1061B. Okay, let's see if we can find some more info on this. Oh, and that has a whole website thing on it. Awesome. Oh, that's so fucking cool. Rocky world, larger than Earth. Mass is 2 times that of Earth. Okay. Okay, so we got an atmosphere. We got the red planet so that you can kind of think it looks like Mars. Okay, cool. I like this. All right, we're going to put this in there too. So this is something I like to do in games, which is try to find historical things and then put them in. So that way if you go looking for things or things that actually exist in real life. So if you go looking for things, you will find stuff that is related. Okay. So we got some good things to start on here. So we got the players waking up at a completely different. Goddard doesn't know how they got there. Memory needs to show Earth's orbit blank. Reconnect this planet according to chronometer. Chronometer only in Wolf 1061B is not 51, 61. It's 12. What did I most like about Observation? I enjoyed the fact that it took a totally new approach to those styles of games and actually made you feel the tension. Because since you're the AI instead of the humans, there is a lot more like having that outside observer effect of somebody and knowing how they're feeling. And then also like the things that you have to go through as the AI. It feels a lot more human. So I liked it. I thought it was really cool. I don't know if I have a favorite part about it. I kind of just enjoyed all of it. I thought it was all really neat. Goddard doesn't have access to all of the systems. So use one of the bodies to go below the station's main areas to re-gauge portions of its systems. You love how the UI worked? Yeah, I thought that was really cool too. I liked all the different little mathematical pieces that you interact with. It felt more machine-like, which I thought was really, really neat. Would be great inspiration if you ever play. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely it would. You can definitely do that. All right, so Goddard has to get into one of the bodies and go below the station. Players go with. They have feeling like something else is around. Goddard's scanning systems are offline. I think we should have some NPCs in here too, because I want the other beings that are on the ship to fuck with things and kill some of them, but I don't want the players to, since it's a one-shot, I don't want the players to have one of them die and then immediately be like, well, man, and then not have something to take over. So, let's see. Goddard scanning systems are offline. Once stored, able to scan the system. Upon they find some of their team, others have just vanished. 2 are showing as being in facilities, not responding comms. So we're gonna have a lot of them not be there anymore, and then only a small group of them have gone through. Once the there's and 3 anomalies on board the craft. Dismissed as possible radiation effects from different solar systems. So here's where we're going to start getting the creepy shit. So one of their comms is going to go dark. So one NPC's comms go dark. Players look for NPC unable to find. One checks out the window. They will see the individual floating out in the hard vacuum. Motionless. Floating motionless out in the hard vacuum. When investigating area, there are no airlocks nearby, and the one they do find has not had. Doesn't show sign of being opened recently. Dust has settled at its base. So, because one of the things that I like to do with horror is add these ominous things into it, and then start to ramp slowly up and up and up and up more until you get to the real spooky stuff. After this event, if the players go back to their duties, one of them sees one of Goddard's bodies walking freely. But to their knowledge, Goddard is not the bodies, does not respond with talk to. I'm gonna go even creepier here and say that if they do confront one of these things, the only thing that they're greeted with is a screech of binary static. I like it. If they do. And if you want an example of what I'm talking about, let's see if I can find it. This one.
Tank, we're going to need a signal soon. APOC.
It's going into arrest.
Tank, now.
That one. Ew. Matrix. Mixture of anger, fear, pain. All right, so we've got these bodies now walking around freely, but the AI is not inside of them. Here's must bring Goddard one of the bodies along in order to be able to communicate. Actually, no. They won't know to do that until later. Players can attack these beings. If they do, beings will fight back, but not like a human. They will use the limbs and other parts machine like a weapon. Meaning they have no self-preservation. No sense of self-preservation. Just all out aggression while screaming. Okay, I'm liking it. Okay, so we got a good start here. Okay, so the players should be able to kill these things if they figure out how to or want to. So we'll say you can attack them, won't try to defend, will continue aggression till combat efficiency drops below 60%. After that point, they abandon the body. Okay. So we'll say that after they have this run-in with this one, they're probably going to be on high alert now and be looking for the other ones. So, parts of the ship will begin to be brought offline. To investigate this. While they do, they are being stalked by things they cannot find. Described like eyes in the dark. When a flash light is brought up, they vanish. So that's a pretty easy thing to describe. So we've got this idea of them peering into the dark in these sections of the spaceship and just seeing eyes staring back at them. And then if they raise the lantern, the lights, they're gone. Makes it so you can have stressful moments as well as make the players take stress tests. So, which is part of what adds to tension, because a big thing in Mothership 2 is having fear and having tension, so having elements that play into that is always a good plan. Players eventually make their way to communications deck, which is the main deck of the station, where they will find another anomaly inside of one of the, what do we call them? Cyborgs? Cyborg. Or just android bodies. Players meet it. It will try and talk to them. Question is, what is it going to try and say? We need your flesh. Not attack. Players will also notice at the items screen are research items. However, we are rudimentary items about language and physiology. Try to talk to it. Most questions will be met with a blank stare, unblinking eyes. If the players ask what it is that they want, they will be told your flesh. No. Not like that. Want something more basic, because we're talking about a group that doesn't speak English, doesn't have any sense of language. So I'm probably just going to respond with one word. Flesh. My God. Why my God? That the android will launch itself at them using the same attacks the other did. Creepy. I'm glad. Let's encounter players. Let's see. So we're talking about a one-shot, which is something that we should probably keep like 2 to 3 hours. So we want a good wrap-up. Do they win? It's going to be the question. I say no. I say that they're going to try and make the reactor system go critical. So, will then be greeted alarms and klaxons. No, that's the same thing. So just greeted with alarms. They are told that the power system is reaching critical levels. Players then run to that area where they are greeted by the body of the one they saw outside. However, body looks different now. It has a large section of wires coming out of the skull, going into the chest, where there should be eyes. There are just glassy purple looking gems sunk sockets. Creature will then launch itself at the party, attacking the same way as the previous. Android did. Then they will be flanked by the last android body coming up from behind. If players are weakened, let's see. I think that we're nearing our finale, so I think it's okay with some people down. So if players are weakened, the hijacked bodies will screech, and that person will disappear. If the players fail, the reactor goes critical, and the station is destroyed. Heard. Most of the story is told from the point of view of Goddard. He describes an infinite blackness with immense pressure all around. Then, seeing one of the players' bodies rise with the same purple eyes. If the players succeed, they are treated knowledge that they have been successful for now, but now they face ask of how do we get home? Okay. So we get a cool little space station zombie thing. Hopelessness, no matter what the ending. I mean, they could win, but they're still around a foreign planet. We could say, successful now, but they are stuck in this station with only a limited supply of food and water. They have the option escape craft to go to the planet. If they decide to, we are those with the craft going down planet and the dark tendrils writhing on the horizon. I won, but did you really? Well, yeah. I mean, it's Halloween. Can't win. It's gotta be spooky. Gotta be big spooky. Okay, I like this. Nice little short story. I'm guessing it's gonna take 2-3-ish hours to run. Now all I gotta do is put together my put together my characters. Yeah, it's kind of the closing is very similar, or I took the closing kind of from Mountains of Madness, because it's kind of a similar closing. You can't type your fingers, sir. Oh no, what's wrong with your fingers? I will say, if you think you might be getting carpal tunnel, or if your hands are tired, they do make hand strengthening kits, which I highly recommend picking up. They have a whole bunch of things that you can use to make your fingers stronger. I do that pretty periodically because I spend my entire professional life is typing. So I need to keep my hands strong. How long does it take to fully plan a one-shot? I mean, I got this idea today while I was watching the stream. I didn't write anything down before then. I just thought up how I might use it. And then the rest of it was, I don't know, 40 minutes. You've been typing all day, reporting on Azure Alert. Yeah, that'll do it. We need some enemies. Let's see. Funny enough, I'm writing so much for Azure that I only realized that how much would Azure, as not just me as the character, know about what's going on. That is a good question. That feels like a very, is his house made of flesh, and he screams for he does not know. So, like, I've written a lot, and a lot more in my head, but my actual lore reveal won't be thick, because Azure is just vibing right now. I mean, that's cool. Honestly, write whatever you want. Make it your story. Make it cool. Make it whatever you want. Honestly, these little things that these people put together for this game are so fucking cool. So much cool art and things. Now I'm just looking through some stuff, finding some baddies, so feel free to ask any questions if you have any. Seems like they just write the characters out with combat and wounds and weapons, which is fine. That's probably what I would do too. So I kind of need to go with this idea, since I do not need to flex or work on my writing muscles. Small or reveal won't give people an idea of what Azure, hint of what's going on. Yeah, I mean, that seems like a good idea. Definitely, I mean, the beauty of sitting there and writing stuff that you enjoy is, if you're doing it to try and get better at writing as a whole, if you enjoy it, it'll be a lot easier for you to, you know, sit down and actually do it. As time goes on, write short stories in form of Azure's journal entries like the regular basis and growth lore. That's cool. Sounds cool. Okay, so here we go. This is how they work. So we've got combat speed, instinct, and hits, weapons, and abilities. Okay, cool. So our NPCs will, I mean, it's not too many NPCs we need to make. So we need to make android. We'll just put enemies. Android bodies piloted. Oh, jeez. Ah. All right, so we get android bodies piloted. Let's say that they're gonna have some special things that they do. Special ability, shriek. Disorients. There's if they fail a sanity check. Out attack. Character cannot defend itself. Instead, taking an aggressive approach. Into the dark. There's got to be another abilities. Do the droids have programmed souls? So the way that they work, in case I didn't explain this earlier, there's a central AI on the ship, and it can only be in one module at a time. So it moves itself around, and if it ever needs to be mobile for whatever reason to do something, it has these android bodies around that it can take over basically and use. So the entities that they're going up against are hijacking them. Okay. Alright, so into the dark. When players would be brought to death, they instead shrieked at and then transported to a void of blackness and immense pressure. Almost like being underwater. If they go to breathe, they can breathe, but feel a liquid go into their lungs, even while being given oxygen. All right, cool. So we got the entity's abilities, their human flesh creations have similar powers, but take more damage. So I think... Do we want them to see them outside? So earlier, the players run into one of the people and they see them outside of the ship. I'm thinking... Let's see. Players not able to find them if one checks out the window. See the red planet beyond with its wisps. Clouds. Because I don't want them to see the corpse if I'm having it go somewhere else to be essentially remade. Sounds super uncomfortable. Oh, yeah. This is, we want to have lots and lots and lots of good descriptors. Lots of things to make it feel like you are in this underwater prison, essentially. Yeah. Yeah, I guess they could leave them outside. And that's just where they turn them. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe they just teleported him out there to kill him and then brought him back in. Sucker for thick tension. Yeah, me too. That is the whole point with this, is to have a scenario that does a good job of building tension. Good job of building tension and hopelessness and things like that. Things that you want to cover in this kind of story. Alright. So we got our things here. Let's start figuring out how many people we want. I think 4 to 5 is probably a good number. Or maybe 3 to 4. 3 to 4. We'll go 3 to 4. So we're just making up a list of options of, because I need to make characters for them to play as. So we'll make, one of my thoughts for a game is a bit complex. A cyberpunk group of fresh netrunners that get trapped within a program that feeds off their fears, and the players have to escape. That sounds cool. Kind of like a cyber nightmare. I like that. That's cool. Maybe it can use the posts that it's seen through social media and things like that, and information that people have posted around or searched through search engines, and that's what it uses to determine their fears. Yeah, I like it. It's cool. I'm all for good horror stories. Let's say 3 scientists, 1 security officer, 2 maintenance personnel. Yep, I like it a lot. I think it's super cool. All right. So we got our 3 to 4 players. We got things that they can choose from. Originate. Our 2 security officers. 3 maintenance personnel. And 10 scientists. If we want to think about it, basically the station is transported elsewhere, and probably the people that were on board are just left in space. Maybe they can find some security footage of weird stuff happening too. Hell yeah. Okay. Okay. I think we got a good combination of things here. Awesome. Okay. Cool. So I think that's about where we will call it for today, because I think we got a good scenario put together. You know, for if anybody's watching this in the future, if you want to come and hang out on Wednesdays, we do Workshop Wednesdays, which is basically we just sit here and workshop tabletop RPG ideas. If nobody has anything in particular that they need help with or want to work on, I will make something, which is case in point what I just did here. If there's more stuff to talk about, I will stay on later and continue to talk about it. Eventually I will put up a question and answer thing of like things that you need help with, just in case you're seeing this video in the future. So I do have some information for y'all just for things in the future. If you are watching this either live or on video and you've liked what you've seen and want to see more of what I do, you can find a lot of my stuff as far as my information about streaming or anything about tabletop RPGs on my Twitter, which is linked there in the chat. And then if this is a fairly new announcement, but if y'all liked what I kind of offer and you're interested in checking out some of the professional games I run, there is my Start Playing page, which has a bunch of information about my professional GMing. You can find a lot of info there about things that I do and stuff that I'll be doing in the future as well, because I'll post, again, Twitter's the best place to find any of the information about what I do and things that I have coming out in the pipeline. Last thing is, if you had fun and if you want to hang out with me and some other members of my community, all of which are like-minded and cool, you can also join my Discord server, which I will put in a link for you here. There we go. So there's my Discord, a link to my Discord. So feel free to join up, chat about anything related to games or food or pets or anything else. You know, whatever you want to come and talk about. Again, this has been awesome hanging out and making stuff. I will be back on Monday, where we will be going through more of Tabletop Talks as far as the subject matter of it goes. I will figure that out. But yeah, I'll be back again on Monday. Do please, since we're streaming on YouTube, do please give me a subscribe if you'd like. If you like what I do and you like the things that you've seen, it does help me to continue to get my channel towards that ability to be basically affiliate status with YouTube. So do please give me a subscribe. You know, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. But yeah, I will see y'all later. Do keep an eye on my channel because I'll probably be releasing some shorts as well over the break period. So feel free to find stuff there too. All right, y'all. Have a good rest of your night. Thanks. Bye.